Netherlands 2. This brilliant Turkey team won, and they go out, and I am, for one, gutted for them. They've been, in my opinion, pound for pound, the best team at the Euros. They have been entertaining, exhilarating. They have brought joy, wonderful goals, exceptional passion to this tournament, and I am gutted. I really wanted England to be playing them in the semi-finals. They just didn't quite have enough to get over the line. They just didn't quite have enough to see this game through. So, look, big up to Turkey, big up to their supporters, and commiserations, my heartfelt sort of condolences, commiserations, and I'm gutted. I'm in sorrow for them. I really, really am. I thought they were going to do it, but just 6 minutes of, I wouldn't even call it madness. It was just 6 minutes of the Dutch showing their class, 6 minutes of the Dutch being brilliant. The saves at the end of the game, oh my giddy gosh, they were out of this world. And look, for me, I'm gutted the Turkey are out. But I'm much happier to be playing the Netherlands in the semi-final than I am Turkey. I think Turkey would be bad news for England. I wanted the game just because I'm here in Germany, and the England fans got great energy. The Turkish fans have been the best here. Put that together for a game, and Germany would have been absolutely lit. But I am happy to be playing the Netherlands in the semi-final than I am Turkey, who have ripped most teams apart and hurt most teams. I felt they were a little bit unlucky, really, in the cold, hard light of day at the end today. I feel for them. But Memphis, Gakpo turning up in this game, delivering. I'm not sure if it's gone down as an own goal or not, but from my perspective, Gakpo deserves it for what he did. He's had a very, very good tournament in terms of being clutch, and we're going to get into a lot more of that on this evening's show. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. But of course, you've got to go and get signed up now to our title sponsors for these shows at StocksFC. If you don't know what StocksFC are, look, it's very, very simple. So many of you give it the big one. So many of you say that I know ball. So many of you say that I can pick the next best thing. I can pick players that are going to deliver. I can pick players that are going to perform. Well, what StocksFC enables you to do is buy stock in your favorite Premier League players and the ones that you think are going to deliver. Then you earn rewards from them. Should they deliver? Should they put the ball in the back of the net? Should they have good games? Should they be in winning teams? Essentially, if they're as good as you think they are, they will earn you lots and lots of money. And to give you an idea of what this looks like, this is actually the stocks currently that you can get on Gakpo. After the phenomenal tournament he's had, you can see just in the last 24 hours there, a 12% rise in his share price. So if you're somebody that purchased those Gakpo shares already, he is doing you an absolute turn. He really, really is. His rewards paid are quite low at the moment at only 600 euros. However, I believe that this is going to grow if he continues over the course of this tournament and going into next season. You can buy shares in him right now at €2.48. If you're selling them, a little bit less than that. But yeah, go and check out StocksFC. And everybody, by the way, that signs up will go into a prize draw to win a signed Trent Alexander-Arnold ball from the 2019 Champions League final. But as I've said to a lot of, I think some people will take part in stocks. Other people, they're all mouth. They're all mouth. They don't really back their football knowledge. It's all just talk. This says, stood applauding VDV. Do you know what? I thought Van der Ven was excellent. That block, clearing it off the line, absolutely class from him. It really, really was. It really, really was indeed. Turkey got robbed. Goal shouldn't have stood. What goal shouldn't have stood? You've got to give me more details on that. What goal shouldn't have stood? What goal shouldn't have stood? I need to hear from you. 1 second, peep. What goal shouldn't have stood? You've got to express more for that, Grey Wolf Dinner. I need to know what you mean. because I am somewhat confused by that. I need to hear more from you. I need to understand more, and I need to get what you mean. What goal shouldn't have stood? I need specificity from you right now, my friend. That is what I need. Let's go to some more of your comments that are coming through here, because I want to interact with some of you tonight. He kicked through the back of the Turkish player's leg to make him score. No. I would love nothing more than see Turkey go through. You know, I was mentioning so many of my friends today that I grew up with that from Turkish backgrounds. By the way, big up to Erkan, Ayla, Dennis, Ali, Serkan. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Genuinely sorry for you. I really wanted... Our nations haven't played each other for such a long time, and I kind of wanted the banter as well. Some of us have known each other since we were adults. Some of us, it's been since we were kids, and I was really looking forward to that. But those goals should have stood. England are going to beat the Netherlands. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on the show, but I think England have got a substantial chance of doing it if we improve slightly from this game. But it's anybody's, because both teams can concede, both teams can score. And as with every game at this tournament, and I said it's the tournament of the underdogs. Now, all the underdogs from the start of the camp, the tournament are out, and you're left with 4 teams that you probably could have somewhat predicted getting to the semi-finals, maybe not the Netherlands. But it's anybody's game because nobody is formidable. Where was the red card for the sorry, I've already seen that one there. The orange wall. Yeah, the orange wall. I wouldn't say it's too much of a wall, more of a chain link fence. There's definitely holes in it. Definitely holes in it. There's no doubt about it. England going home. Well, I mean, you said that, my man, in the last 2 knockout games, so I'm not going to take you seriously. I just think you're a hater. I'm not going to take your opinion seriously on this one. Van de Ven take a bow. Yeah, look, he was excellent. We severely underestimated the Netherlands at the start. I don't think anybody's underestimated them. I think they've been good at this tournament in fits and starts, but they've also been got at. They've also, I think what's happened at this tournament is, I think we expected the French, maybe the Italians, definitely the Germans, to be exponentially better than they have been. And because of that, we somewhat wrote off the Netherlands. We somewhat wrote off, England as well. And I was part of that. But England and the Netherlands had better than those other sides. You could argue for Germany. It was unfortunate they ended up playing Spain, who've been the best team at this tournament. I think a lot of people wrote off the Spanish as well, to be fair. They've been a lot better than people expected. They've been trashed. This format rewards rubbish group stages. At the end of the day, though, you got to beat who's in front of you. It's definitely helped teams the draw, but you've still got to win games. You've still got to win football matches. You really, really do. You really, really do. The side of the tournaments really got lucky. Germany, Portugal, France, Spain are on one side. Yeah, I mean, but that's just what happens at tournament football. That happens in domestic tournaments. It happens in club European football. Sometimes, I mean, listen, I've seen City go on and do domestic trebles, but yet play absolute minnows and much smaller clubs in every round of cup competitions. Doesn't mean that FA Cup isn't real. You just can't. It's about what you do. It's about winning your group. And you got to remember, England would have had a harder run if Georgia hadn't beaten Portugal. So if Portugal, you said, are on that harder side. If Portugal would have beaten Georgia, England would have had a more difficult last 16 game. So it's about other teams delivering. And you can't sit there and slag off England or the Netherlands because other sides didn't perform earlier. The same as at club level. I remember when Man United won the Carabao Cup and people were like, well, you didn't really play anybody until Newcastle in the final. Well, blame Arsenal and City and Liverpool and co for being knocked out by smaller clubs before we came up against each other. That isn't Man United's fault. This isn't the Netherlands or England's fault. The other teams failed. You can't blame us for other nations failing. It's as simple and straightforward as that. Let's have a look here. Veghorst saved them with that tackle. I think, yes. No, sorry. Definitely. Very, very good indeed. Terry, talk about the red card in the first half when Simmons only got a yellow card and should have been a red. He clearly steps on Mertz's leg. Look, I didn't think it was a red card. Equally, they're really trying not to send people off at this tournament. We saw it in the England game earlier today. You saw Fabian Schär booked fairly early on. He committed at least 3 more fouls that were similar to his booking, and nothing happened. So they're trying not to send people off. I didn't think it was a clear red card. And again, I was on Turkey's side, but I don't necessarily think it was. But I get the frustration. I really do. Semi-final with De Jong, Cook Miners, and how do you pronounce that? I'm going to mess it up if I try and say it. Missing. It's not down to me. That game heavily favored Turkey, and the class of the Dutch players showed they were losing all game to turn it around. It takes one moment of brilliance. Well, that's the one thing that some of the, and I don't even want to try and sound disrespectful, but the smaller nations have against them is the bigger nations, typically speaking, just have that extra bit of quality they can bring on from the bench, extra star quality, players that have those moments of individual brilliance, and it's definitely hindered them. If England beat the Netherlands, Terry knows that Spain are not messing. Lemao and Nico Williams will cook Walker and Trippier. Listen, do you know what I'm not going to do, though, right now, is that England and the Netherlands have got to the semi-finals. England, especially against people like yourselves' predictions. We're not now going to start moving on to the finals and you're going to get cooked there. Remember, if you predicted England not getting out the group stage, not getting past the round of 16, not getting past the quarterfinals, if we do go out in the semi-finals, or we do go out in the final, by your own predictions, we haven't failed, we've overachieved. So there is no banter from that point. You've lost. Your bets are off. Your prediction failed. So I'm just hearing it, mate. I'm just not hearing it in any capacity. I'm really not. Let's have a little look at England. England is not Turkey, so I expect the England team will expel the Netherlands. We must believe in our team. Thank you. I hope we will. Terry, do you think Pedri could come back to the fight? I haven't even heard about how good or bad, how bad, I was going to say good the injury is, how minor or severe the injury is. So I have no idea, my friend. I really, really don't. We got Hussam and Dio here with me this evening. Make sure you hit the like and the share button, people. And of course, scan the QR code. Go and check out StocksFC. Go and get yourself an account, because as the season begins, I'm really going to start testing some of your ball knowledge. Let's see if you guys are going to put your money where your mouth is, or if you're all a load of talk when it comes to your football knowledge. But Hussam, the Turks are out. The Netherlands go through. Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
I mean, look, first of all, I think Turkey have a team to be proud of. I don't think they should be like, obviously, every Turkish person watching this right now is probably upset and angry and stuff, and rightfully so, as it just happened. So it's kind of fresh in memory. But I think Turkey have a team to be absolutely proud of in this competition. They've been absolutely incredible, from start to finish. They've entertained us. I don't think we've had a single Turkish game that's been boring. The whole comp, every single game has been entertaining. I agree with you. It shouldn't have been a red card. And I'm happy that they're not just sending people off for the sake of it. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. We need referees to stop being the main character, if anything. We need the referees to stop being the main character of anything. Dumfries in the first half. I don't want to get your stream demonetized. But Dumfries in the first half, the stupidity of a football player at that level, I have no idea how that's a thing at that level, Terry. Netherlands national team, Inter Milan. The guy looks at Ake clearing it. Then he lets it go out for a corner and then proceeds to play 4 Turkish players onside. The line was straight. Van Dijk was there, Ake was there, De Vrij was there. They were all together, except Dumfries. For God knows what reason, he was hugging the goalkeeper. I have no idea why the hell. But in the second half, I feel like he made up for it. Like in the second half, Dumfries actually woke the F up and had a completely different performance. I thought Van Dijk played really well defensively. Cody Gakpo played well going forward. Memphis Depay had a fantastic cross for the goal. He kind of showed, today, in an important moment for the Netherlands that, you can rely on him maybe to deliver a cross. Not necessarily to finish, but to deliver a cross. I thought the problem with the Netherlands, to be honest with you, is a little bit the Dutch midfield. I think this is the issue in the bigger picture. I'll tell you why. I feel like they have such a lack of creativity, such a serious lack of creativity. The Dutch creativity is the following: give the ball to Gakpo on the left wing, let him dribble and create. Give the ball to Xavi Simons on the right wing, let him dribble and create. That's literally their creativity. They don't really have any creativity from Reindeers. They don't have any creativity from Schouten, from any of them. They're not really creative. And the one guy that I have to credit Coleman for the substitution is actually Wout Weghorst. Because yes, we all know he's a palm tree and he's not Lionel Messi or anything, but they need that. The Dutch always need a target man. Traditionally, Dutch football has always been played with like a target man type striker, and they need that. Like Van Persie, like they need a presence. Ruud van Nistelrooy. You could go back in history, Patrick Kluivert. Like they always need a striker. And Memphis Depay is not necessarily a striker per se. He's like a quote unquote center forward or like a winger playing down the middle. So for me, I'm saying, look, this Turkish team has a lot to give still, with the likes of Guler, Yildiz, with Yilmaz up top as well. Like they have a very good, exciting front three. They have a lot to give. The Netherlands today just kind of used their experience to win today's game. They really were very experienced in today's game. And I feel like this sets up a very interesting semi-final now with England against the Netherlands. This sets up an extremely interesting semi-final because I actually think on paper, England are supreme to the Netherlands on paper. Like if we are completely honest today and say, okay, name which Dutch player starts for England. And I'm genuinely not saying this to be like any form of bias. I'm actually being dead serious. I think there's two players, Van Dijk and Ake. You probably put Van Dijk, next to Stones or whatever, and you put Ake left back ahead of Trippier. Other than that, no midfielders get into the England team, and no forward line players. As much as I love Cody and Xavi Simons and all this, I don't think any of them get in the team, to be honest with you, ahead of Saka, Foden, or Harry Kane. So, look, it sets up a good matchup. They're both defensive teams, but overall today, based on how they played in the second half, Netherlands deserve to go through. On second half alone. First half, they were dreadful.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Go on.
So go on, Dio. Go on, brother.
No, it's like I think the Turkish team just switched off for a few minutes, and that's where they lost it. They just switched off for like that. In that moment where they switched off and the Netherlands scored, that was it. And because all through like the first 20 minutes, the Netherlands controlled the game, the Turkish scored, and then they controlled the entire game in the first half. Second half comes around, of course, the Netherlands were a bit more pushy than what I thought they would do. They started playing better. But I think Turkey switched off. They literally just switched off. Like as soon as that goal went in, and in even the own goal, even the second goal, which most people thought was Cody Gakpo's goal, which was an own goal. It's like, what are you doing not looking over your shoulder, scanning when the ball is coming in front of your goalpost? You should scan around. Any defender should at least look around, see who's coming, and then decide, I'm either heading this ball away or I'm kicking this ball that way, or I'm passing the ball immediately. So that switching off for that few minutes and not being able to just do the very simple things cost them, honestly. But I will say this Turkish team is only going to get better with the players that they have, and with what is happening in their league now, with people like Mourinho going there. Some people say Mourinho is rich. I'm like, no, you have no idea. They're going to get more players. They're going to build up more youngsters. They're going to have probably a stronger team come next Euros. If they can keep the core strength of this team that they have right now and add to them, this Turkish team is only going to get better. The Netherlands, what can we say? On paper, they always have good players. Somehow, some way, they have made it to the semi-final. I don't know how they are there. I honestly don't. With the way they've played, it's the same thing with England. With the way England has played, I don't know how you're in the semi. I don't know how these two teams are in the semi-final. I just don't understand. I'm like, left to me, this team should have been knocked out since. They came third in their group. That's how they qualified. This Netherlands team came qualified being third.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how are they still in the tournament? How? But this is where the experience comes in. When you look at their team and you're looking at people like Van Dijk, you're looking at Ake, you're looking at Memphis Depay. As much as people say a lot of stuff about him, I've seen that guy cook sometimes. And when he was at Barcelona, I saw him cook. I've seen him cook in other where he's played before. So Depay, I think he played. There was a time he was in.
Yeah,
Barca.
he did. He did play.
Yeah, he
Barca,
cooked in
yeah.
Barca. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm saying like, so this is where the experience comes in. This is where you see the experience of the Netherlands.
Yeah, but that won't work against England, though. That's why I mentioned that earlier.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they shouldn't be here in the first place. But now you see where in knockout tournaments, it's about taking your chances and just moving on. The worst team could make it to the final. It's about taking your chances and moving on. And I think that's what they've done throughout the entire thing.
And that element is so true, because now you're in the semi-finals. I think football logic directly comes in, and any one of the remaining 4 teams could win it from here. Spain, yes, are the favorites. Ironically, France are the 4th favorites at this minute, because if Spain are the favorites, they're likely to knock them out, which means they've got no chance of being in the final. And then you've kind of got England, and you probably would put, in my opinion, right now, you'd put Spain as favorites, followed by England, followed by the Netherlands, followed by France, only because France are likely to get knocked out by Spain based on this tournament form. If France go through, I then make France the favorites, if that makes sense. But any one of the 4 left in it can win. Spain have been the better side. France haven't scored a goal in open play. England, in fairness, we've scored a lot of good goals this tournament. We just lack balance. And the Netherlands, they sort of lack a bite, if that makes sense. Like, the only team that look complete is Spain, which is why from this point you would only predict them to win it. However, this tournament has been so unpredictable. I feel like the favorites from now are also not going to win it, if that makes sense. It's been that kind of tournament. And I think if you're the Netherlands and if you're England, our countries haven't won anything for a long time. England, it's nearly 60 years. I don't think the Dutch have won. They never won the World Cup. I think they won the Euros in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. It may have been.
Yeah, they did. Van Basten. Yeah, they
it's
did.
On the back of this, it's on the back of this trophy, actually. When was it? 1988. So they won it in 1988. They're getting towards
Marco Van Basten and the...
Yeah, they're 35 odd years. 35 odd years since they've won anything. It really and truly... This could be one of the best opportunities and chances both teams have got to end that 30 to 60 year collectively period of hurt. And the Spanish have recently been amazing. The French have recently won most things. You know, of course, I'm being a little bit biased when I say I want England to win it, but they may not get a chance as good as this. Although they're not the best teams left in the tournament, nobody's formidable. So get through whichever one of them's in the final. That's a fact.
It's
and
crazy.
Then they have a chance of creating. And
You're
then, by the way, they win
Terry,
it.
by the way.
If they win it, then everybody will forget the group stages, forget the imbalance, forget the lack of star power. But they've got one of the two has got a chance because one's in the final. So it's going to be crazy.
I want to burst this bubble. First of all, whichever one of England or Netherlands win are losing in the final, regardless whether it's Spain or France. Second of all, I want to call out Terry, because earlier on at the first match, actually, he's like, if you're not from England and you support a Premier League club, I don't know why you're hating on my nation. The only reason I have zero hatred towards England. The countries I despise are Germany and France. I hate Southgate, Terry. When Trent was substituted on, I started singing God Save the King. On it's literally just Southgate. If when Trent starts, I'm pro England. If Trent is on the bench, I'm against England.
No,
I'll be honest with you.
I understand that.
I'll be honest with you. Look, today, obviously he scored the penalty and stuff, but you're not going to credit the penalty taker for scoring the penalty. It's more on because Pickford saved the Akanji penalty. But at the end of the day, today proved once and for all that risk taking is what actually eventually genuinely rewards you, because of the common risk that he took at the end of the game. Now, at the start of the second half, with bringing on Weghorst to going 2 strikers, essentially just going with 2 in midfield. And you look at the England team, and I feel like they just need to get that element right, which is the taking the risks. And today, Kyle Walker, once again, you know, I'll be honest with you, at this point, it's not an agenda. Because it's not just me, it's City fans themselves saying Kyle Walker playing like dog shit. So I think there needs to be a substitution there. Trippier playing left back, it's just not working. The guy has 0.4 progressive passes. He has 0.4 progressive passes more than us 3 on the panel.
No,
so the game,
yeah.
So the next game against Netherlands, if England just sit back and you're not going to take any risks at all, and you're not going to try to be creative, the Netherlands do have weapons, even though weaker weapons than England, that can still score against you and still give you a problem. That's the point that I
get
think
that.
England needs to
and
take their chances
Right.
against Netherlands. England just needs to take their chances against Netherlands. Like the chances they created today and they didn't take, and they had to go into penalties. They should not let that happen. They shouldn't let that happen, because the Netherlands, as you can see, will hurt you. All it takes is give Cody Gakpo 2-3 chances. He will convert one. And if England does not take their chances against this Netherlands team, then I don't know what the future holds, but I can't see,
and in
like,
order to take a chance, you need to create it.
yeah, this might be the best chance for England to at least make it to the final first. This is their best chance to make it to the final, and then in the final, whoever you meet, if it's France, because this is why this is the last team that are in the semifinals. I just don't understand how France hasn't scored from an open goal, and they're in the semifinal. Like I don't think people understand. Like when I'm thinking about, I'm just like, this team has not scored from an open goal. Penalties and own goals got them to
open
the
play.
semifinal.
Open play. You mean open play?
Open play. Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Zero.
I absolutely hear you. And that's and the thing is, all the money is going to go on Spain. But this tournament has been so unpredictable. This tournament has thrown up so many anomalies. This tournament has seen underdogs thrive, pound for pound thrive, that is. Nobody expected Georgia to win it. Nobody expected Turkey to win it. But they've all so many. No one I mean, Switzerland went into the game today with most people thinking Switzerland would win. And that's never happened before in the tournament. So that's why I'm not just going to sit here and go, yep, Spain have won it 110% and nothing else can kind of happen. On your point about not supporting England, as I said, there's a guy here in the comment section, excuse me, that says, I'm Irish, I hate England past my life. Now, let me just say this now. I understand it. If you support a European team, I understand why you wouldn't be supporting England, even if your nation is not at this tournament, as an example. And even if you support from a team outside of a nation from outside of Europe, I understand it. What I don't get, and it doesn't apply to you, Hassan, because you don't hate on England. And I do get it with the Irish and some other nations. But what I don't understand, and this is not a dig, this is me seeking education. If you despise England so much, why decide to follow the Premier League? That's my question. And what I mean by that is, I see people do it with America. There are lots of people that despise. I know people, I follow them online, who tweet things like, I despise everything about America, but they watch Hollywood movies, they love the NBA, they love the NFL, they love hip-hop music, they wear Nike trainers. And I sit there and think, well, you can't hate everything if pretty much everything you indulge in is that culture. I just want to understand it. I need to understand it because it's intriguing to me. I'm not offended by it. I'm not angry about it. I just want to understand it genuinely because it confuses me just based on how I am as a person. I don't hate any nation, actually. I'm very fortunate that I don't feel that way. But if I did, I probably wouldn't partake in its culture. I just wouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? It's weird to me. Like I just don't quite get it. So I want you guys to help educate me on this question here. Who is better, Foden or Saka? For England, it's Saka. Just very quick answer. For England, it is Saka. And by the way, this I don't even want to have the debate. When it came to playing for Germany, Klose has been better than pretty much any other German striker in their history. Doesn't mean he was the most gifted German forward in the history of German football. Saka for England plays better than Foden. It's as simple as that. England in the round of 16 and quarterfinals, they played 120 minutes. The Netherlands won both games within 90 minutes. I hope this will make the difference for us. And Sadiq, that is the one thing. England's legs have been run into the ground. So that element is on your side. I tell you what might help England, though. It's only the second time ever we've won a penalty shootout at the Euros. And that's a big thing for us English. And by the way, the penalties today, normally I don't credit penalty takers. I go, well done. I have never seen English people take penalties like that. I was so proud. Cool, calm, collected. There was some fucking arrogance. There was some swagger. Like Ivan Toney, that motherfucker didn't look. Excuse my language. I was just blown away because as an Englishman, penalties in my life.
Ivan Toney's penalty was just weird.
The
He looked
tournaments
straight at the keeper, just put to the other side.
I remember 1990. That killed me. I remember 1990. Remember 1996. It killed me. 1998. It killed me. 2004. It hurt me. 2006. Like my whole 2006. 2012. Like it's just my whole. That I mean, the Euros final. Penalty shootouts have been the bane of my life, and even when we've won them, it's been that was a dodgy penalty, and that was a bit lucky. That penalty shootout was just amazing, and that's just me being very biased as an England fan. So I hope that spurs us on in the next round. This year says I'm not about hating England, the team. It's about the insufferable fans. They are literally like Tottenham, a whole lot of chat and winning nothing. Yeah, I mean, there's an element of truth to that. However, if you actually break down how many European teams have actually won a major trophy and how many international countries out of the amount that participate have actually won an international trophy, it's not a very big list. And England are part of that. And I do get the insufferable bit. But do you know what's really funny about being here? Is that my team, KJ, Dre, and everybody else have been out all these fan parks and mixed with all these different fans. And when you're actually here, the only reason I think you find English fans insufferable is because you follow English football. So you see stuff from England fans. I'm not going to say what people have been saying, but some of the songs other nations sing about other countries, forget England, not involved. If England fans were singing that, there would be front headline news. People would be calling them insufferable, scumbags, horrible. All nations do it, even ones that haven't won anything. The difference is you don't see it. It's not It's not like.
It's because Jerry, it's also because the Prem is the largest, the most viewed league in the world. I mean, if people don't realize, like for example, the cable network company in Africa. Well, I haven't been home in a while, but back then DSTV that show the Premiership, they pay in dollars hundreds of millions for TV rights to show certain games for the La Liga and for the Premiership just in West Africa alone. Just for West Africa.
And by the way, there's another thing I want to say to that comment from Emmanuel. Low key, when you think about it, since we support Premier League clubs, I mean, I saw Man United crest on your thing. How many Germans do you know? How many Dutch people do you know? And how many Spanish people do you know? Probably you could count on one finger all three combined. So go and watch the Football Terrace content. Like when we were speaking to Germans yesterday, German people were predicting beating Spain 3-0, 4-0. You know, so if an England fan does that with Netherlands, you're going to call them unbearable. So we spoke to Turkey fans the day they played Portugal. They were predicting a 2-0, 3-0 win. They said they were going to smash them. Every single nation does it. The same as every single club in England that I've ever been to, low league, high league, sings this one song. We are by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. That's not insufferable. That's just support. It's not even. Sometimes I think people take those chants. It's like it's coming home. If people actually research the 1996 song, "It's Coming Home," "It's Coming Home" meant a football tournament's coming home. Football's coming home. The whole song is about how bad we normally are, but it doesn't stop us believing. It's now become a satire. It's coming home is like satire. It's like almost laughing at ourselves a little bit, if that makes sense. But people seem to take it really seriously.
People take it literally. When you guys say it, people take it literally. Like they think that you're saying, yes, we're serious. It's coming home, blah, 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 you know. But honestly, like to address what you just talked about with the England thing and supporting the club but not supporting the country, I think it has nothing to really do with the fans. I don't agree with Emmanuel's take that that might be part of it, but I don't agree with that. That's the main reason. I think it's because just generally people don't want to admit it, but people still have this thing like England trying to colonize the world is an issue. So they look at England like that as a nation, but they enjoy the football. So when England is playing now, all of a sudden they are conflicted in supporting England because they follow the Premier League.
I get that. Yeah, but you've only got to do 10. You've only got to do 10 minutes of history. But the same people I see are support Portugal instead. What? I support Spain instead. What? Exactly. I mean, everybody's out here supporting Turkey. Do some history about what Turkey did many centuries ago. Like you could find it.
The Dutch in South Africa. We can find stuff for them in South Africa.
And for me, I don't play that game because I think you could look at you could find most countries in the world and find something bad historically that's happened. I don't judge it based on that ever because the world is the world has moved on, and that isn't me being ignorant to these facts. It's just like, well, I don't look at this England team now and think it's representative of bad things England did. Equally, the England football team has nothing to do with the government. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
That's the part that people need to differentiate. You need to differentiate how you feel about whatever you follow, whether religiously, politically, or whatever. When it comes to football, football is its own thing. You need to be able to say, look, the reason I support England in this Euros, even though I think Spain is going to win it, like I predicted, is because all the players that I like, playing the Premiership, and most of them are playing for England.
Yeah.
I have other players that I like that play for other European countries, but I'm like, majority of the people that I can count on my finger, 4, 5,
and
6
I agree.
of them play for England. So I'm like, yeah, that's the team I would support.
I totally agree. And listen, a few people in the comments saying, "Are you, Terry? Are you saying your country never done anything bad?" No, I know listen, we've just got rid of a 14-year scumbag government in my country, and I'm very, very glad and proud of that. But I just don't believe you should judge the day-to-day, everyday person based on the government of their country. That for me is if you actually take that logic and apply it to every aspect of life, that means you're judging a whole group of people based on the actions of some. And I was brought up to say that was bigoted. That's not the way to look at the world. And I judge everybody based on individual merit. And I've never judged anybody based on something their country's done. I can't. For me, that's a wrong way to approach things. But I said we're getting a little bit deeper into this now. And should all UK nations support each other? See, I do. But because I was part of Team GB when it came to my sport, I competed alongside people from Northern Ireland, people from Wales, people from Scotland. So I've never had a burning desire. I've always wanted those nations to do well because I have friends and family from those countries. There's friendly banter and rivalry. The same with Ireland. Like Ireland and England are very, very, very poor sort of history as the two nations. But I've always loved Ireland. I've been there on holiday. I married an Irish woman. My son's half Irish. So for me, it's just like, yeah, I love the country. I don't have that. And when
it comes to the Olympics, why does the UK go as one?
Yeah, it's a weird. I've always felt that I've always felt that football in England should be Britain as opposed to England. I always felt that over the decades, if you actually took the best from each country, I think we would have had even better teams. So that's what I wouldn't mind that, but everybody's different, I suppose, when it comes to that. So we are on topic. We are on topic. This comment here says, is the England team considered one of the top European nations that has not won the Euros? Probably,
yes. Of course.
Yes.
You can't be considered one of the top European nations if you're not looked at as failures based on the quality of player we have. So if we've failed dramatically based on the quality we have to be looked at as one of the top nations. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting ridiculed. No one is ridiculed in Turkey for going out in the semi-finals because that is a great achievement for a nation of their size and a squad with their overall quality. You will ridicule a team the size of Italy going out. If England went out in this round against Switzerland, would have been ridiculed. That's because they're looked at as one of the best, in my opinion. Look, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Really, really good conversation to have. But like I say, listen, everyone is free to choose and support whatever country they want. I don't take any offense by it. We live in a free world, a free society. I'm just intrigued to understand. Genuinely intrigued to understand. And it is what it is. As I say, like Hussam's here, he's supporting Spain, and he's never stepped foot in the place. But he's my brother. I love him. Do me a big favor, people, and go check out StocksFC. Some really good IPOs on the way. Gakpo's price. I was actually just looking a minute ago, and it shows all the rewards that have been given out in the last this last match. Gakpo top of the board there. Van Dijk stocks are available. Declan Rice there in third place as well. Gakpo's on there twice, to be fair. Kieran Trippier's on the list. Phil Foden's there. I'm sure a few players from today are going to be jumping up their rankings very, very soon indeed. So that's the latest reward point scores that are available. So go and check that out and have a little look now. You can see some of the really good value prices that are available. And the score metrics tells you how they get their points as well. So make sure you buy your stock wisely. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye. God bless. This video is going to take you through to MHF. The boys are over there doing a show. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless, and I'll see you soon. Peace.